Now we'll chill and sub out. Here's Drenner.
You're good, Hoss.
Two-man game with Donville up top. Gets it back to Holman. Distant shot. Scores from 2!
The power of the 2. Just like that, we got a one-possession game on that 94 mile an hour high bouncer from Holman. The whole first game, we saw high bouncers off target. Holman winds this up, uses McMahon as a screen. The veteran knows, keep those feet, that plant foot right behind the two-point arc. High bouncers will go.
They will, and if you track Marcus Holman and you scout him, he's not big into that high bouncer. We were talking about tendencies with Mac O'Keefe, you know, with those low body shots to Adam Gittleman, and then he goes back to his patented high heat, right? From low to high. Marcus Holman typically keeps the ball above the goalie's shoulders without bouncing, so credit him for mixing it up there.
And getting the first 2 point. Sowers check it at the top. Now Kelly from distance. He scores! That's a 2-point goal. Well, Q, right on cue. That was an important power play, and they got 2 out of it.
Well, he led the league in 2 balls a season ago. He's your hired stretch shooter. You can't beat Blaze unless you're changing levels. The old school high bouncer. Waterdogs now up.
Newman
wants it. Newman wants it. He was open. They didn't see him. Newman's still open. Now he gets it. Newman fires. Goal! Jared Newman from the outside. Oh, he was calling for it. They finally found him.
I mean, you can see this coming from a mile away. They had him, then they didn't have him, and then they had him again. You can see Rawl try to get there in time. And earlier, the Cannons defensively, I think it was Sullivan, he actually started flying upfield in anticipation, the gravity of Newman. Then he had to recover back as the ball actually got thrown closer to the goal, and that freed up Newman later in the possession.
At practice last week, you stand around and watch Jared practice his twos. I mean, that ball is humming. His stick, the shaft of his stick gets like full torque bend snap, and you're well past, what, 100. But you can see his acceleration is something unique to this Chaos offense.
Here comes Kelly, a threat off a face-off win. Now Reese from the outside, a 2-pointer. It's 10-9.
That just blew the under out of the water. These twos. I love what we're seeing in terms of the transitional long poles now, following a play and being a threat with the two.
But this strategy is sitting there for the Cannons. You've got Kelly, post-win can stay on, and you've got Reese, long range. He is a legit 2-point threat, an original member of the Chaos Bomb Squad. And then you've got two-way guys like Fairman, Trainer, Goodrich. That right there, what we saw last night with the Waterdogs should be a staple of this Cannons offense.
103 miles an hour. It's important that the first guys in the rush cut the crease to clear up that space at the top of the arc for the follow man, whether it was Newman earlier or Reese here.
Yeah, that's an Aroldis Chapman fastball. Brenner goes to work on Geddes. Now Campbell, that's a 2, scores! The rookie ties it at 13.
This was executed to perfection. The key here is the down screen, and I think it was Marcus Holman who set it up about 10 yards north of the goal line extended. He basically pass protects or blocks for the lob feed up front for the 2.
You got to respect Drenner as a Dodger. You could see Holman snowplow in front. And what I love about Campbell is he catches this with depth. such that when he then steps in, there is no problem with the two. So really good by Campbell, making sure, hey, I want to catch this high enough so I can get a full windup.
And 2 weeks in a row now, Blaze has struggled with twos off the high bounce shot variety. Off the wide look, you can see on the left side of your screen, look at all the interference they run for Campbell. That's a double pick there, almost like two pulling guards.
Drawing up a two-point play when the other team knows that's what you need is one of the harder things to do offensively.
The table, you got to watch your glass. Knock it off the table.
Gray calling for it, gets it and scores! Chris Gray, a rocket from deep. This will be right on the line, whether it's a 1 or a 2. From the naked eye, Kark, I thought it was good for 2. We'll take another look.
The eyes of Jeff T. Ooh, that's really, really close. We're going to have to see another.
That's a 2.
That's good. That's easy. That's a 2. The pass by Jeff T was awesome. It was through the defense, and T comes into tonight's contest leading the league in points with 10, but the 6 assists shows you he's the conductor of the offense. His eyes are always up. He's dissecting. And Chris Gray, props to Chris Gray. 3 goals on 4 shots. How good of a shooter is he? Well, he was 1 for 10 last week. Great shooters find their rhythm. They just need time, but they never second guess themselves.
Here's Sowers trying to get a step on Adler. Tiptoeing around the crease, curling. Teeing up Kelly, who scores! Connor Kelly rockets it from deep. This should be a 2.
The best in the league a year ago, dropping 2 balls. He's back, 40 and white. Looks close, could be on the line if we get another look. Oh, that's so close. I think it's a 2. I think it's a 2. Let's take another look. It's so close. He's got the white cleat, which makes it harder. It's so thin. From Danny Logan.
What a start to this 4th quarter. Buckle up. We've got a fun finish coming between Waterdogs and Atlas. Here's Connor Kelly. He goes from 2 and scores! Connor Kelly, his second 2-pointer of the night, cuts the lead in half.
Get on his hands. I said it earlier. He's going to make you pay. League best 2-point shooter a year ago, and this was a screen too. Look at all the shirts he shoots around. Jack Kincannon has no clue where this ball is coming from. 3 Atlas jerseys in front of him, then a 4th Durkin by the crease. You see the reaction of the bench, but there's no shot Kincannon sees that. Jay, he shoots around all those jerseys.
Crazy.
The ball wasn't moving that fast. It was 87 miles an hour, but it was the location and the way he shot around the defense.
This is the
kind of paired on that right side. One of those guys should get the spot for 2.
Kelly already with 2 twos tonight. Can he get his hands free? He can! And scores! Connor Kelly ties this game at 18!
This is a Herculean effort. Connor Kelly is seizing a moment. Everyone in the stadium knows that's the guy you want for 2. Caraway carries. There's some dysfunction in terms of the communication with the 2 Atlas defenders. They both go with Caraway, and the last man in this stadium that you want shooting takes the shot. The bench knows it. Connor Kelly with 3 2 balls.
The first tie of the game.
The Atlas in that defensive huddle said, watch Connor Kelly. But what happened when Caraway started carrying, both defenders went with him. There was no communication. If you beat him near pipe, there's not much net to shoot at.
4 becomes 6 on 5, but before the player can run on, that's a 2 for Cannons.
Chris Aslanian. You want to talk about a stretch shooter. This guy's got some serious juice, and if you don't know his name yet, you will soon, because he can deliver from downtown. Hobart's finest has the Cannons up by 3.
Over him. Whipsnakes defense really dialed in this first quarter, trying to get something in transition. Manny calling for it, gets it. Kicks it back for a 2! Colin Squires, right on the money, perfectly placed, and it's 6-1 Whipsnakes.
If you can get the Poles involved in the 2-point game, the Whips can find spots offensively where they'll be very difficult to defend. Now, Jack Kelly got a piece of that, and he's going to want that one back. Colin Squires not known to stretch the defense from 2. Michael Earhart is. And oftentimes in early offense from up top. I mentioned the attack right now on the power play. Watch Dordovic and watch Chanachuk.
Deflects in! Dordovic threaded the needle. Rambo claiming the goal.
Well, Rambo doesn't want to claim the goal because if it hits him,
oh,
it's
true,
not a
he's
2.
saying it's a 2.
If he's saying it's a 2, it wasn't deflected.
see.
Dordovic clearly shoots it or passes it behind the 2.
It goes off Garrett Epple. That's off Epple. So it'll only count for 1. Here in the arena,
No, they're
the
counting it
stadium,
as 2.
they are?
Yes. They're counting it as 2.
Finish this game off. It's the first win of the season for a Whipsnakes team that's used to being atop the standings.
That's Will Manny from 2 on an empty net. Talk about goal differential. That's a big swing. There's your 2 right there. When you want to go out and you pressure, and you take the goalie out of the net, you run the risk. But the Whips, we have to give the Whips props. I mean, they're 0-2 heading into this game. And
oh, they showed up.
Well, both their losses were by 1 goal. You knew they had the talent. They have the winning pedigree. They have a fantastic coach in Jim Stagny.
Silver medalist with Team Canada in San Diego. Under 10 to shoot.
Caraway fires for 2.
Step down City. Love the spacing on this play. Look at the way Caraway sets himself up really high. Off this left-handed dodge to the middle. He can catch, take the crow hop, and still be outside the 15-yard arc. McCardle picks up the dime. Caraway with the long-distance call.
The word that Mike Pressler used to describe this week 4 was redemption. Specifically harping on the defensive end. He said, we made some fundamental mistakes, but that's pretty nice on the offensive end.
Costabile with a 2-bomb missile. His first 2-pointer of the season. That was faster than some of Joan Duran's pitches at Target Field last night.
And to pile on Dana's point, the Atlas are too good to be giving up 19 goals after winning, what, 30 of the face-offs? That was a sloppy effort. I think Costabile just catches Kirst napping, and from about 16 yards, that ball's humming 100 miles an hour.
In his
The best in the history of the game.
Yeah. Best in the history of mathematics. It's literally off the charts. A little hidden ball action from the Cannons. Atlas don't fall for it. As Lanian fires and picks a corner. That's good for 2 from number 3. That power play's up to what now, 150%?
Russ, what's the math? Help us out here, man. What's the year math? What do you got? They came in at 125%. What are they now?
They're 7 for 5. Let's check the calculator.
Left-handed rip. Chris Oslanian, Hobart 2019. He's a coach at Princeton. Works with their goalies. Guess what he does all day, every day? Shoot. And he can really make it hum.
140% on the power play now, the Cannons.
Play it all. Be versatile.
Taking after Jeremy Thompson. Do it all. Shot clock dwindles, and the 2-bomb goes. It's Tucker Dordovic from distance.
It's a nice look. It's a nice look to change of the offensive focal point from right to left here. Myers with the lob pass. Dordovic catches this in stride and catches Dobson maybe a little slow to get to his post. It's a bounce shot to the near post. Not an easy save from Dobson because you got to turn, locate, and reset. I like his positioning prior to the shot. He just doesn't get enough push. That is a bouncer 2-bomb from Dordovic, the current favorite to win the Rookie of the Year award. Ahead of, I think Matt Campbell now moves up into 2nd place. I put Gavin Adler at 3, Sisselberger at 4, Dixon at 5.
Ohio State.
Yeah, Rogers coming over from chaos in the offseason. Oh, Mac O'Keefe. He paid the price as he sticks that from 2.
Looks like it's a cramp. Turn the corner and paint a corner. Pass down, pick down. Able to set his feet, free up his hands. It looks like almost a quad cramp, which is you don't see very often.
Maybe a hammy?
Maybe, usually it's a hammy, but it's a hammy.
What's up with the archers and hamstrings?
It looks like he's getting his calf worked on.
That's a 2 though, right? 2 from distance?
I think it's definitely a 2.
We talked about that in an earlier game, the pass down, pick down philosophy. Okay, you're
It's very much in this one. Zed Williams, hammer time. Dordovic, oh yeah! That's 2 bombs for number 2, and the Rooks got a hat trick and 5 total points.
stone cold execution. Zed Williams off the 2-man game draws 3. Dordovic catches that north of the 20-yard line. So right here, he's got ample room to get his feet right to plan at the top of the arc. From where? Dead center. Terrific.
Late in the fourth. Hanley back to his right. He'll take it and score with it.
You need to take the 2 because that's where Kincannon struggles. And you and I were talking during the break. Hanley up top. Yes, please. More of that. He's dodging on the low wings. His sweet spot is top middle and those high wings.
And he's so big and physical, he can get to the top middle whenever he wants.
Separation created, hands free. That's the Chrome's first 2-pointer of the
3 Waterdogs to do it.
Waterdogs faced different short stick on that one. They faced Courier on that one and turned out okay.
And now they get a short stick on the face-off, and they get a 2-point goal off the stick of Ben Randall. So the oddities continue for the Waterdogs. What's going on out there? Ben Randall on the offensive end scores.
defense to offense. This is the name of the game for Waterdogs. They push in transition. Courier forces a rotation, and then Randall from distance, high bouncers will go. But good identification there by Randall, recognizing there was a trailer opportunity to capitalize on that 6-on-5.
Waterdogs lead the league in 2-point goals. That's their 7th as a team on the season. 99 in orange will sub out. And Trey LeClaire will come from the midfield line. He'll take a long shot and score a 2-pointer.
Really creative substitution. You talked about it earlier. Archer's the most creative in the sub game. And they're going to sneak LeClaire over the midfield line. So all the attention right now is on Tom Schreiber. You can see, here's the two Waterdogs defenders on ball. Off your screen, here's going to come Trey LeClaire. He's going to come flying in from the right side. So a little bit of confusion from the Waterdogs. Where's the last guy coming in? They sneak on LeClaire, and he buries it from 2. You got to give a ton of credit to Coach Kavanaugh. He's the one that runs their substitution box, and he runs the most creative one.
102 mile an hour. Inside. Double team come and split. Tried the cross pass successfully, got it through traffic. Schreiber fires a 2-point shot and scores! Just as the penalty winds down, Tom Schreiber buries a 2-point shot. Here come the Archers.
Schreiber from deep. First 2-pointer of the season for him. You know, Archers aren't really known for being a team that lets it fly from distance. But a heads-up attempt there. Looks like he uses his defender, Burns, as a screen. Hey, Tom, was that just a matter of kind of late clock and a guy in front of you, or did you see that?
True face-off specialist going against a long pole, trying to junk it up for chaos. 2-point shot, score! Welcome back, Brett Smith.
Welcome back.
Absolutely. 27 with the bomb coming out of the box.
What a find by Rambo. You can see all eyes on Rambo as he dodges upfield. He finds Smith coming out of the substitution box, and with a huge windup. Welcome back, Brad Smith. As LaSalle's about to, oh, I thought he was going to shoot that.
I thought he was going to shoot it too. Had a good look. Not as good a look as that, though. That's a 2-spot on the board for Whips.
Instant offense from the face-off. All 3 guys from the Whipsnakes stay. And by LaSalle aggressively attacking the cage, he draws the defense in. That flip back, well, I got to rotate to Earhart. And Puglisi, his first 2-pointer, first goal of the season, and he makes it a 2.
You think Costabile maybe had reared and screened a little bit, Coach?
Definitely had him screened, and honestly, it was a little bit of a weak approach. With one hand on your stick and going to the body instead of the stick head allowed him to get the shot off and use his body as a screen.
How about this turnaround? Wonderful job. Final minute of the first half. Trouble in the middle of the field, picked up by Atlas. Big shot that time from Kobe Smith. 2-point goal. How many times do we talk about something in the pregame show and it comes to fruition in the game? Smith playing on the LSM because of his ability to score in transition, and he gives us 2 right there.
Coach Pressler talked about it. He had the ability to be an offensive guy.
Well, and it's all that big box fake. You can see this fake throwback right there. Freezes Chrome defensively. And Smith showing off his range. Not to be denied from distance. And Kobe Smith, he's one of those guys, Coach T, that he plays defense so that he can play offense.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of poles out there who have made a living scoring goals.
which will probably not be touched. But there was a method to the madness, quite honestly. I witnessed it. What was going on in your mind at that time?
It's just to win at all costs. You know, I was always into protecting my guys and making sure that it was win at all costs, right? Like we gave it our all in the off season. We gave it our all in the pre-games and leading up to these games. And I felt like it was important to do the same on the field and just be there to support my guys. And sometimes I get out, yeah, but it's part of the game, right?
Looking fit in this beautiful gold blazer. Congratulations, Brian. Always been a pleasure to see you. You look fantastic. Way to go.
Likewise, Clint. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Q, thank you. Meanwhile, Chris Gray continues to make Homewood his personal canvas. 4 goals, 2 assists, and now a 2-pointer.
I like how you said that. When he was in college at North Carolina, his junior year, 8 goals on this field. So Chris Gray, a lot like Mac O'Keefe, Kyle, always shot. Uses leverage, and yeah, he's right on the bottom.
Well, you wanted a 2, but it's from the Whipsnakes. Chanenchuk. He came into the season with 20-plus 2-pointers in his pro career. One of the best in recent memories from the outside.
It's all about the flow of the game. We have a turnover on the Chrome end on an important possession. They go down the other way, and Chanenchuk has the opportunity to step into it too. The ball gets over to him. So he typically doesn't have enough time to actually step into his shot. It's typically just wrist. This one, he gets to catch, step, turn his hips, and no goal is making that save.
And you know, when you watch a lot of these shooters, you get a beat on them, right? Like most guys, if you were to put a name, I watch enough lacrosse where I say, oh, this guy typically is doing this. Mac O'Keefe, low to high, whatever. Mike Chanenchuk is one of those players where you really don't have a clean scout on him. You don't. There's so much variety in his shooting release points. There's so much variety in where he puts the ball in his shot location.
Here comes Dunn.
I think that's because he doesn't shoot with his ego. He takes the right shot or the best shot or the most deceptive shot. He's not trying to prove a point by beating a goalie to a corner. He'll take what's given.
Chrome the other way.
See if they run some off-ball action with the goalie here. And he shoots it.
He fires from way out. You're kidding me. George Caldroni from way downtown.
High IQ play. Open net. Archer's kind of sleeping on the crease there, not protecting the net before the whistle starts, and he just lets it go. I love that.
Why not? Let's take a look at the replay. They roll it, and Caldroni says, sure, let's go up by 3.
And he puts it right in the corner, too. Love that. I have a couple 2-pointers in my career, and they're all empty nets as well, so.
Well, this is all but on ice after that crafty 2-point goal from George Caldroni.
Here comes Rowlett. Can Chaos play, make it, take it? This is a 2. Oh, Ian McKay! Confringo!
Ian McKay is such a valuable player for this team. He does so much in between the lines, in between the arcs, and when given the opportunity, he can make incredible plays, game-changing plays on the offensive side of the field.
Yeah, he's the leading point scorer from a defensive midfield perspective in the league. William Perry, you shot 97. Well, this 2-ball's smoking at 104 miles an hour. That is a sick rip to the top shelf, strong side of Jack Kelly.
3 points in 11 seconds. The beauty, Quint, of pro lacrosse in the PLL. These games, even with these wild momentums. 3-time PLL goalie of the year. That's a 2! CJ Costabile and Chaos take a 1-goal lead.
This is why they're never out of it. Defensive players who can strike in transition. We saw McKay hit a 2-ball. He's a short stick D-midi. CJ Costabile led the league in defensive points a season ago. This season's leader is McKay. You have these guys who are defensive players who have the green light and can hit 2-balls.
And that's an elevated skill. If you look at that shot, it's already difficult for goalies to track a long stick.
Quick restart. Here's Holman. Van Raphorst cranks, fires, scores from 2! 107 miles per hour.
He's the guy when he played for the Atlas, along with C.J. Costabile, Mike Earhart, and Jared Newman, the biggest threats with the pole from deep. Marcus Holman with the quick restart, the IQ to understand it's time to go. Van Raphorst follows a giddy-up 107 turn and rake DeLuca.
Petey wins this one. Now Whipsnakes to take advantage. 32-second shot clock off the face-off win. Puglisi's got to fire a two-point shot. Scores! Well, that's taking advantage of it.
Last time they played, Puglisi had a couple of goals as well, and he seems to step up like a lot of these Maryland guys in big moments.
Having a plan off a face-off win. Andy Tires, and suddenly you see the concern on his face. You see some players substituting. Puglisi just hovers and follows the play, and he's given a little bit too much of a cushion. Good job by Roman to set his feet up. I think the hardest part sometimes with twos is to have your body all on the same page, in terms of the line, getting the proper crunch. Stars are playing like they're stars.
Zed absorbs the contact, now to Manny. Up top to Dordovic. Shoots, scores! Maybe that gets 2 going. A 2 from Dordovic. And his league-leading 5th 2-point goal of the season.
6-goal run for Jim Stagnita. They were down 8-6, and now they're up 12-8. Manny distributes up top. Tucker Dordovic, the favorite for Rookie of the Year. Syracuse and Georgetown from distance. Whipsnakes take command in the Rockies. Chaos up 8-6 and rolling. Next thing you know,
Two-pointer from Ray.
Little too late. Stat stuffer for 10 and White with just .8 left to go, but goal differential, you talked about it. Every goal counts for something.
Blaze Reardon with a left-handed rope. And Ray stays out of the arc, the 15-yard arc, and beats Krebs from distance. That is the first blemish on Krebs in like 17 minutes.
Almost 20 minutes. And the Whips will call a timeout here. 19 minutes and 38 seconds, to be exact, in between goals for Chaos.
You gotta know that you only have 20 to play.
Path. Schreiber working a 2-man game with Rogers. Back to Schreiber. Good catch. He'll take a 2-point shot and score! He does it all.
He just pegs this corner from distance. I mean, again against the lefty goalie, this is the hardest save for Scanoni. I think he steps on the line. Let's see if this is a 1 or a 2. But watch he pings the corner.
Yeah, he's above it. It's a 1 point. Right above it, maybe.
No, that white line is not the 2.
No, it's the curvy line.
It's the curvy line. That's a 2.
Yeah, that's a 2.
That's a 2, and he pegged the corner. I mean, a perfect shot.
You got to look at Crum defense here too. Who are the Archers going to look to score a goal in the last 6 seconds?
Look at that. Just pegged the corner.
Corrected it to a 2-point goal. Correct call, 6-1, 8.8 remaining in this first half.
And we're seeing it more and more in lacrosse now with the 2-man game. That's a basketball thing from way back and a box lacrosse thing.
There you go, O'Keefe. That's a 2-pointer as well. Everyone's eating tonight for Archers now.
A lot of weapons. That's why they're in first place. Say, what surprised me about the Archers this year, honestly, the defense. This offense is as advertised. Fields snakes his way to the goal, draws the double team just for one check. Bernhardt tries to make that check and then get back to his man, but he gives O'Keefe a little too much real estate.
They may look this over. Originally called a 2. They may or may not. I think they're going to call it a 2 and keep it that.
We talk about the basketball lacrosse symmetry or synergy. 6s.
Garnsey takes it, gets dumped.
I like the chrome pink, Quinn.
Of course you do.
Also, the men wear pink too.
Fired up. And why not? Arden Cohen scores.
Spats Cohen in transition, left-handed.
Woods are off to a good start.
Yeah, Redwood's playing with a lot of emotion all of a sudden. Look at him. It's almost a 2. It's on the run from about 13 yards. Did they give him 1 or 2 there, Chris?
I think it's going to be a 1-point goal. Let's see. That should be 2. That's beyond the arc when he lets it fly. That's got to be a 2.
Left-handed on the run.
Look at Nat St. Laurent yelling for the flag. Now he's going to throw it.
Yeah, they're going to have to look at this.
They may not have to review it. Nakai tracks down the red flag and hands it back to Nat. He said that's what he wanted to see. A 2-point goal instead of 1. They changed it to a 2 without the challenge. So Josh Blaisdell is filling in admirably this weekend as our lead referee for Matty Palin. Says, yeah, we looked at
a moving pick. Whoa, if you have that on your bingo board, you're a big winner this weekend.
2-point goal for Cannons. An answer from Matt Reese. That's his second on the season.
It's those turnovers in the middle of the field. They pick them up and they're looking at the back of your net.
A run out catches the defense off guard. They're either in a substitution pattern or the middies are getting into the hole. Reese is a guy who grew up in Baltimore, went to Boys Latin, coached him when he was in high school.
He's not a 3-point guy.
TD. That's a carbon copy of what we saw earlier. Coach, to your point, let him win it. And then when he goes to shoot it, check the stick right out of his hands.
Trail check by Matt Reese.
And Rapport scores a 2.
That's a real tough turnover. You win the face-off. You actually have good control. And TD just should have rolled back, pulled it out, and let his offense go to work.
So the Cannons run off the trail check. Here it is. Beautifully done by Reese, who scoops it up himself. Then you're off to the races. Kate Van Rapport did this last week. It was the turning point in the Cannons' win in Baltimore. Both times from well outside the arc, both times low deliveries. Van Rapport picked up from the Atlas. Remember, the Atlas drafted 2 rookies, Makar and Gavin.
As we approach 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. In transition, look out, Jared Connors for 2. His second 2-bomb of the season makes it 5-1 Archers.
And this started for the defensive side. Whipsnakes trapped Tom Schreiber on defense. He buckles down. He's on Zed Williams here. Williams able to get to the middle of the field, but the Archers support that turnover right there, and they're off to the races. Schreiber, you better pay attention to him. He wisely finds Connors as the trailer. Defense to offense, that transition. Normally you don't have to account for Tom Schreiber in that calculus. In that situation you did.
Somehow stayed out of the crease.
Even if he fell in, the referees just let that go on because it didn't really affect the play, and Warner was the one that pushed him there as O'Keefe unloads from distance.
Mac O'Keefe with a 2-bomb.
Came into today 3rd in the league in 2-pointers, and here he shows off the range. Fields draws a little bit of attention, and O'Keefe, feet set. There's just something electric about his release, that signature low to high, painting the upper corner.
He let one hand go from his stick. That lefty swing looked like Ken Griffey Jr. here in Washington State. That was a thing of beauty. As the Whipsnakes in transition here. Earhart loads it, scores it! Big Mike with a big rip for two. The Whipsnakes have life here in Tacoma.
You mentioned it, tops in the league when it comes to two-pointers. We've seen comebacks aplenty all season long. Good identification there by Kearse. He gets out of trouble, and Earhart, of all the guys to trail the play, that's the one that you light up and you go, oh, Big Mike's back there, yes please. Huge swing there, huge answer for Earhart coming back after that penalty. Whipsnakes 3 points in 15.
Said he wants you guys to be peaking at the right time, but how nice is it for you to be able to get some rest right now in a big game in Washuta to get some reps?
You know, it's a great thing for us, right? I think, you know, as a teammate, you get to see Nick Washuta go in there. He's one of the best teammates I've ever had, right? So anything I need, he's been there for me, and, you know, getting the chance to reward him to play out there has been great for me, and I love seeing him compete out there.
Awesome, thank you. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Kaylee. No chance for Washuta on this shot from Chanenchuk.
Yeah. So Chanenchuk earlier went kind of far pipe. Washuta was all over it. Here he winds up and finds space on that near pipe. Incredible accuracy with a flag down.
Offside against the Archers is canceled. All even face-off.
Chanenchuk, one of the smoothest strokes in the game. It just looks effortless. His release and his accuracy on display there, finding that some sort of space on that near pipe.
The offsides was wiped out by the Chanenchuk goal. We go back to the stripe where the Whips have a 13-12 advantage tonight. Now Bill re-triggers. Keep an eye on three, Aslani, and he can rip it from deep. Aslanian shoots and scores right on cue. A top shelf rip from Aslanian.
He can bring the heat. You better know where he is. And on the power play, he's able to set his feet and let it fly. Nolting skips it over. You can see Durkin start to rotate. A little bit of hesitation. And the missile from range. The two-pointer from Aslani, and his third on the season.
With under 3 to play in the third, the Cannons leading by 1. Here they come on the move. Van Raphorst loads it, scores it! Oh, that might be worth 3! He hit it from Bainbridge Island.
Against his former team. You know that's got to mean a little bit more. Atlas were offsides on this as well. But Van Raphorst from 20 yards? Does this hit Kincannon stick and actually deflect in? I mean, I know it hits it, but is it going wide? It looks like it's potentially going wide, and the deflection then leads it in.
Bottom right, Max, bottom left.
Kincannon might have inadvertently deflected that in the goal, and Van Raphorst, his two-point streak continues. His two-pointers have really been the difference in some of their recent contests. And remember, every quarter starts the face-off, so they'll shoot here.
And score!
Like, you have to know that. You have to know that.
That's a deuce from the double deuce. Ryan Drenner.
I don't know why Atlas weren't out on Drenner. With only 6 seconds left on the clock. It looks like Makar and potentially Durkin, or is that Geppert? Between the two of them, one of you've got to get out there. Drenner just has like no other option. I mean, maybe he could have thrown one more pass, but you just trust the rotation and that basically the clock is going to go out before a shot is even put on cage with 6 seconds.
That was Eddie Glazner, one of their captains.
And we'll surprise Glazer didn't fire that from 2.
You're looking for a Glazer beam? There's a two-pointer, and that'll count. It's Romar Dennis, the most prolific two-point shooter in the league. If he can get calibrated, that's big for Redwoods.
This is a picture-perfect start for Redwoods. 2 goals out of the midfield, and the guy that you just traded for, this is exactly why they picked him up. His ability to stretch the defense. There's not a lot of guys that can hit a 2 on the run. He's in a class pretty much by himself. And in speaking with offensive coordinator John Grant Jr., he said, Romar, go. Like, they want him to be super aggressive. They're pumping him full of confidence, giving him the green light, and there it pays off.
Minus 31, which is last in the PLL by 17 entering this weekend. They probably are not going to win a tiebreaker, and they might not win this game if Nakai Montgomery keeps doing this. That'll count for 2. And Nakai Montgomery, who entered this weekend over 25 shooting, has now 3 points today.
I told you, you just need to see the first one go. And then it's kind of like, okay, that's right. So anytime somebody's in a big drought, once they get the first one, it's pretty much a lock that they get one later in the game. Love the little pump fake by Montgomery, oozing with confidence. Again, off the face-off win. Love the goal cam there on the placement. That opposite low corner offside stick. Beautiful placement, and yes, celebrate, young man.
Montgomery, the Dallas native, one of the best athletes in the PLL, who played some running back when he was in college at Duke, and his father played with Michael Strahan at Texas Southern. And Nakai Montgomery, a true two-way do-it-all midfielder for Redwoods right off. That was almost exactly the same time into the quarter as his goal in the first. Wisnauskas with a takeaway. Leads to a 2-bomb. Salama has the answer. His first goal of the season. And they'll give him 1.
So much for the rock fight. These teams are coming out firing here. Off the turnover, Morrill identifies Salama as the trailer. And that's a 2, right?
Absolutely.
It's pretty clear.
Absolutely.
Beats him 5-hole. A ton of heat on that shot.
So these teams coming into this game were a combined 2 for 70 from downtown. Redwoods 1 for 40, Chrome 1 for 30. Now Salama's got a 2-pointer and the Redwoods have 2. That's 2 turnovers already for Chaos. Waterdogs, a team that loves to run. Hannah rips it. Bouncers will go for 2.
Given Reardon's reputation and success, kind of shocking to see that he's given up 7 2-pointers this season. Kind of the one blemish on his resume. Great find by Courier in terms of finding Hannah as the trailer. And this is where Chaos, the turnover of the offensive end, Waterdogs still had a lot of offensive personnel on the field. So they were able to get out and immediately attack in reverse transition.
Reardon got a piece. McCardle gobbles it. Shot clock resets to 52 after the early shot. Lots of space, and Conrad stings it. Bullseye.
And it comes from a feed by Scarpello. First he goes down and dodges, takes a shot. He stays on the field, playing X behind, and he identifies Conrad coming flying out of the box. So you could see the Waterdogs early, this game is playing directly to their style. Chaos called timeout to try to calm things down. mean, look at that pinpoint accuracy directly off the pipe.
Ball pick up by Ethan Walker, the Canadian. That was the 9th save for Blaze tonight. 5 minutes left in this first half. Caraway goes low and beats him. It's another 2-bomb for the Waterdogs. That's their 3rd shot from distance to beat Blaze tonight.
And what's so unique about this Waterdogs offense is it's not like they've got one threat from deep. Hannah's got a 2-pointer. Connor Kelly, obviously. Caraway, Conrad. They're all lethal from downtown, and they're just smart. When you prepare for them, they just seemingly make the easy, simple play over and over again, and they trust each other. I thought Conrad could have potentially stepped into one. He moves it one more to Caraway. You trade a good shot for a guy that's wide open and can step into it.
It's 10 saves already for Blaze. On the crease, Patrick Resch avoided stepping in. Costabile loads it up and blows it right by Dylan Ward. It's a 2-bomb derby here at a baseball stadium.
I can't recall a time we've been this deep into a game and we've had more 2s than 1s. It's like the championship series all over again. Costabile wisely stays on in this transition, foot clearly behind the line. He's got so much force behind that, he actually breaks the Waterdogs stick. There you see it. There's only 3 one-point goals.
And 4 2-pointers, 3 for the Dogs and 1 for the Chaos. And it's 8-6. Drew Carter, Ryan Boyle, Kaylee Chelios back with you here in Tacoma. And RB, it was the first half of the 2-bomb.
Yeah, and I'm going to lay out for this one so you can hear it. Oh, Hannah, Conrad, Caraway, 3 2-pointers in that first half for the Waterdogs. Meanwhile, Chaos, we might as well cash into the party as well. Costabile breaking Higgins' stick on that windup. And then Rowlett, the Chaos, facing the prevent defense for the first time off the faceoff. Why don't I just take it to the rack myself? Blaze Reardon, really strong first half. His saves allowed Chaos to get out in transition. And Minikis buries that one. He needed to be the guy to step up.
McCardle with some space. Walker. Kelly for 2. It's Connor Kelly's 5th 2-ball of the season. Now tied for tops in the league, and it's the Waterdogs' 4th bomb tonight.
Beautiful ball movement by Waterdogs. Walker, that little drag, pulls the defense to that side, swings it over to Kelly. The high bouncers, they'll go.
Birth of his daughter, as you saw. I think he was really the emergence of Sowers and the re-emergence of McCardle were the big stories of the PLL season last year. Ogman, now we get a whistle from distance. It's good. Talk about emergence. 42 in white. He keeps making plays, Clark, and basically telling Coach Bates, you can't take me off the field.
Back-to-back beautiful rips. It's McCardle, and then it's Ogman. And Ogman, he uses Witcher as a screen here. This is really smart shooting because you shoot off that far shoulder of a defender. The goalie in Ward doesn't get a clean look. And the Archers have been able to solve Ward in this second half. Ward was amazing in the first half. They've been able to get to the guy in the big sweats. Yeah, Reese is going to come through the box. This is smart. What a call here. He's going to get it here.
And he gets a look to Washuta, turns it aside. 11 save for Washuta. It stays, though, with Waterdogs. Hannah's going to get a look and scores! What?
Connor Utah! Yes! That is unbelievable. The first attempt with Rylan Reese was masterful. Andy Copeland drew that up to perfection. I thought the game was toast. That was the first look. Washuta makes the stop. In all my time watching Jack Hanna play lacrosse, I've never seen the old school bouncer like that. He is normally pure gas, shots to the high corners through the air, not the turf. Look, that is a two-pointer, and as a goalie, that is such a hard shot to track because he uses the turf, and that thing is flying off of it. The PLL in 2023, the first few weeks, it was one goal game after another. Well, it's like bookends heading into the playoffs. You're tasting some magic.
Man,
the Atlas just don't have any flow offensively right now.
Two-point shot, score! It's all going Redwood's way. Owen Grant finds the back of the net.
This one makes me smile, Cotter, and I'll tell you why. Owen Grant was nicked up and missed a good portion of his rookie season. Yesterday we're at practice and I see two rookies staying after shooting the ball. Cole Kirst and Owen Grant was practicing his two-point shooting. University of Delaware, a game wrecker in the middle of the field with a long pole. A guy who can initiate and trigger transition and has to be respected from deep for that very reason.
That time Kirst lets it fly. Finally solving Colin Kirst, his brother. You've seen it on both ends here.
Those are what you call big brother muscles. Colin Kirst has been amazing with 11 saves, but when big brother's staring you down, he's just got the edge. And he paints that bottom corner. Colin Kirst staring down Connor. Years and years in the backyard in New Jersey. They know each other's tendencies, but Heat wins this time with that gas of a shot by Connor, and I think he's such a weapon for this team. This is a guy in college played attack and midfield.
Right, that was a two-point shot too. Hard to see that ring with the sun reflecting on the field, but Kirst awarded a 2 on that shot, so that's a huge shot right now. We're even at 7.
Add some. These two-pointers have changed the complexity of this game. The Connor Kirst 2, Mike Chanachuk 2.
And Rapphorst can shoot from 2 and he scores! That's become a weekly thing for 77. He has been on a scoring tear of late, and he continues it here in SLC. That's his 4th straight week with a 2, Cork.
Exactly. Coming into tonight, he's tied for 4th in two-pointers with 3. And that ball is humming well over 100 miles an hour. There's an extra giddy up, and that thing isn't even close to the 2-point line. That is like 5 yards off of the 2-point line. It's the cockback, it's the release, it's the velocity. Van Rapphorst.
The clock winding down, extra step, jab step to get open was Smith. Didn't take the shot. Chanachuk does, though. That's a 2-fer.
I think Kirst was screened. You see all the different reflections, right, on the turf. Couple that with the defender in your path as well. Look at the sunlight right there. Look at all the bodies in front of him there. I mean, that is a tough ball to track. And Mike Chanachuk.
This is deep.
He's got gifted wrists, gifted hands. And what a season he's had. You know, we talk about the turnovers.
Holman was on Chanachuk initially. That is a bomb from Aslanian! They're not even going to attempt one-point goals anymore.
What a stroke. What a stroke. These are 2 heaters in a row. Marcus Holman gets the assist, and these are from deep. Quick double. I don't know why the Whips showed with 2 there, but there was still defensive help on the adjacent pass to Aslani, and it's not like he didn't have a defender in front of him. They just didn't respect him from that deep, and he is one of the better shooters in the PLL. He's a Hobart grad who had a phenomenal career up in Geneva. And now he coaches.
Wayne gets wrapped up into a check. Baptiste can't handle the pass. And loses his stick. Getting over and back, it'll be a turnover.
How about the veteran Hartzell's play in this first half?
Very good. He's gonna take it. Oh, I thought he might take a 2-point shot. Instead, it's Aslanian who takes the 2-point shot. Usually it's the other Aslanian who scores. This time it's Pat with the 2-pointer.
This is all set up by the ageless Kyle Hartzell. Baptiste kind of fumbles this pass a little bit. As he goes after the loose ball, Hartzell makes him pay with the old lumberjack 2x4. You think I'm taking that 2? I'll wisely go 1 more. And Aslani, and maybe he's been taking shooting practice with his brother, shooting lessons.
Pat is the younger brother, former Denver Outlaw. His older brother, Chris, also on the team. Where's number 3? Cannon's now 8-5.
And that 2-pointer, that's a staple of
shoot, though, so plenty of time. Back to his left, didn't have anybody to pass to. There's the clear for 2, and he scores! You called it, RB.
I don't think necessarily exactly how he drew it up.
That's a problem right there. Kelly's banged up a little bit. May have caught that on his forearm.
You saw the ball ricochet.
It definitely deflected off of Kelly's arm. He came into today a little bit banged up. You can see the strong dodge by Ambler generates some help, and then just the rotation behind the play, a little bit of confusion for Redwoods. You can see Cohen start to kind of help on that left side. Ambler just moves the ball forward to Leclerc, who's got the airspace to step in.
Yeah, he took a beating on that shot. Trey Leclerc shoots well over 100 miles an hour, and that is a hard rubber ball flying straight at your flesh.
He's also banged
Latrell Harris' spot, and Matt Moore now goes down to attack.
Either Moore, Ament, or Leclerc.
The easiest 2 he's ever hit.
And his career day scoring-wise in the PLL continues to get even better.
Empty net. 2 ball. Get Dobson out. Tom Schreiber, don't let him near the field. This 2-pointer, I think, is significant because now you've got this game totally locked. If you didn't a second before, get out unscathed.
And Redwood's kind of expressing some frustration on that 2-pointer. It's like, well, then don't press out.
Yeah.
Like we don't have a good
PLL. Shooters everywhere.
Aslanian can shoot from 2. He does, and scores!
When you have some inside guys, you add a little outside flavor with Aslanian. Now you're cooking, Ryan.
And you've got a lot kind of going on here. They do a little fake flip. Who's got the ball? Freeze it right here. So they go the inside-out action. So you'll see this kind of soft spot right here. So what they do is they throw in and then throw back out. Some people kind of call this a wall pass. You go in, the defense collapses, and that then opens up Aslanian on the perimeter.
100 miles an hour of pure gas. Aslanian's been an awesome outside threat for the Cannons this year. And when you have the top power play unit in the PLL, you need pieces. You know you have Holman from a wing. He can finish inside with Donville. Who's your outside shooter? Well, this year Aslanian has answered the bell.
And you need some
behind. It looked more from the side. It looked worse in real time, to be honest.
Kelly shoots for 2 and scores.
Is that another high bouncer?
High bouncer from beyond the arc.
2023. The rebirth of the high bouncer.
And this is, when you look at this power play, you just wonder why it's not more effective, because they've got the shooters. Well-designed play there. Kelly starts on the crease. They drag to the left side. He pops out. And what I love about this, Kark, is he doesn't pop out right above the 2-point line. He pops up to like 18.
So he can get a little giddy up.
Exactly. He's got such great discipline when it comes to the 2-point line, and that's because he sets himself up at 18, 19, so when he catches, he can get that wind up and clearly release before the line.
Doesn't get through. Look at O'Keefe battling for that ground ball.
You have to step upfield when you're shooting against Dylan Ward.
Ogden for 2!
Schreiber hit the nail on the head. You can't replace Fields 1-to-1. So who are the guys to step up? Last week in the semifinal, Kark, you said don't be surprised if it's this guy right here, Ogden.
Absolutely. Out in Salt Lake City, he popped Cotter. There was something about the way he moved, his aggressive nature towards the cage. And like we talked earlier about Ament not throwing a bounce pass on this type of wet surface, this is the time, though, to shoot a bounce shot, because it is firing 94 miles an hour, and it comes off of that surface, that wet surface, screaming.
Outside bouncers will go use the earth.
Sprint in.
Caraway gets a 2-pointer.
I love that noise. 92 miles an hour of smoke.
In the offseason, Ryan Brown retired. Who are we going to replace him with? They pick up Caraway, the sharpshooter, and he's paid dividends all season long. So this is what he affords you, is the range. If you don't get out on his hands, he's never seen a shot he doesn't like. Not afraid. He's used 2 archers as screens. I don't think Dobson ever saw this.
And you know,
yeah, that's right. I don't think he saw it in the pocket and off the lip. I think he picked it up halfway. But no way you're going to keep up with 92 miles an hour when you don't see it in the pocket, off the lip, and in the air.
You know what the beauty of it is, too, Quint?